Good morning, ladies. Welcome to Spiritual Sanctuary, Wisdom for the Divine Feminine, a sacred space for reflection, healing, and remembering who you are beneath the noise of the world. This podcast is for women walking a conscious spiritual path, those drawn to intuition, embodiment, cycles, goddess wisdom, and soulful living. Here we explore what it means to heal without bypassing, to grow without abandoning ourselves, and to live with intention, sovereignty, and compassion. Whether you're listening for guidance, grounding, or simply a moment of connection, you're welcome here, exactly as you are. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Cosmic Connections of Nashville, a beautiful metaphysical shop and community space supporting spiritual seekers on their path. You can visit them online at yourcosmicconnections.com. And as a thank you for listening, use the code Bertina Podcast 10. That is BERTENA Podcast, PODCAST, and the number 10 to receive 10% off your online order. Now, remember, supporting our sponsors helps keep this podcast accessible and allows us to continue offering meaningful, heart-centered conversations. So if you're ready, let's begin. Welcome, sisters. You've arrived in the spiritual sanctuary. This is a space of rest, a space of listening, and a space where nothing needs to be proven, fixed, or rushed. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome home. As we enter the last week of January, many people feel something that they can't quite name. Not really motivation, not clarity, and not excitement either, but something quieter. It's kind of a fatigue that isn't just physical. It's a restlessness that isn't quite anxiety, and it's a sense that something is stirring, but not yet ready. Today's reflection is not about goals, it's not about productivity, and it's not about becoming someone new. This is a priestess reflection, a listening at the threshold between winter and the first hint of returning light. Before we go any further, I want you to take a breath with me. I want you to inhale slowly through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Again, long inhale and soft exhale. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. And let the day fall away because you're exactly where you need to be, here with sisters. Now, January is not meant to be loud. Despite what culture tells us, this is not a season of forward motion. It's a season of integration. In older traditions, this time was considered a threshold, a space between what has ended and what is not yet fully begun. The calendar says a new year has started, but the body, the land around us, the soul, we all know better. We are still wintering, and if you felt tired for no obvious reason, emotionally tender, unmotivated or uncreative, reflective or nostalgic, unsure of what comes next, well, there's nothing wrong with you. This is a gestational time. Seeds don't just sprout because the calendar changes. They sprout when conditions are right. As a priestess, you'll understand this. We do not force emergence. Priestesses listen for readiness. Late January asks us, what is truly ended? So let's think about that. What is ended? It could be something tangible, something emotional, something financially, or just something energetically. Ask what is still dissolving because we still have a couple of weeks before Imbolc and things will be dissolving away. Just like that Tower card falling off slowly. And then January asks us what is quietly forming beneath the surface. Now, you might not have all the answers yet. That is wisdom, not failure. Let's take another breath. Now, let's speak honestly. Exhale. Inhale and exhale one more time. January can feel heavy because of expectations. The world expects momentum and consistency and clarity and proof that you're doing the year right. But the priestess path does not follow linear timelines. The priestess asks, what is my truth right now? Not what should it be? If you feel behind, just ask, behind what? Whose timeline are you setting your life to? And whose rules are you setting your life to? If you feel stuck, just ask, is this stagnation or is this incubation? You don't need to push yourself out of winter. You just need to honor it. So I want you to think about this, and you can pause to journal or just to silently think. But where have you been pressuring yourself to move faster than you're ready? And then what would you change if you had trusted this season instead of fighting it? Again, as I said, you can pause to journal or pause just to think. Now, I want us to move into a guided priestess reflection. I want you to listen beneath the noise. You can sit, lie down, or just simply soften your gaze. If you're driving, keep your eyes open. Listen gently, and just be very careful. I want you to begin by bringing awareness to your body. Notice where you're holding tension. Breathe in there and release. Where do you feel warmth? And where do you feel nothing at all? Nothing needs to change. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a quiet landscape. It is late winter. The ground is still, and the air is cool, but no longer harsh. You're not here to do anything. You're here to listen. Ask yourself, what part of you is tired right now? Let whatever arises arise. Next, ask yourself, what has this season been asking of you? Not what others want, not what you planned, but what has life itself been asking? And finally, what is beginning to glow quietly within you? Not a glow, not a resolution, a spark or a curiosity, a subtle longing. You don't need to name it clearly, just kind of pay attention to it. Take a deep breath and let that knowing settle into your body. Now, as you're still sitting here, I want to share with you some priestess wisdom for the days ahead. As we move through the last week of January, I invite you to release the idea that this is a time for answers. Instead, think about it being a time for gentle devotion, a time for warmth, tending, and listening. The priestess does not demand certainty from herself. She trusts the rhythm, she trusts timing, and she trusts that clarity will come when it is meant to. For this week, consider lighting a candle each morning or each evening, placing your hands over your heart and asking, "What do I need today?" Choose one small act of nourishment daily and let your rest be sacred, not earned. You do not need to prepare for spring yet. You're still in winter's wisdom. Now, before we close, take one more breath with me. Inhale and exhale. May you release the weight of false urgency. May you trust the quiet work happening within you. May you honor your body's wisdom. And may you walk gently through this threshold. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not behind. You're becoming in the way seeds become forest, slowly, faithfully, and in their own time. Thank you for spending this time in the sanctuary with me. If this reflection resonated, I invite you to sit with it over the next coming days. You may want to return to this episode or simply carry one phrase with you. I am allowed to move at the speed of my soul. Until next time, be gentle with yourself and remember the light is returning quietly. Thank you for spending this time with me at the Spiritual Sanctuary. If today's episode resonated with you, I invite you to pause for a moment. Take a breath, notice what stayed with you, and honor whatever is folding within. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can share this episode, leave a review, or pass it along to someone whom you think may need it. And don't forget, you can support our sponsor, Cosmic Connections of Nashville, by visiting their website, yourcosmicconnections.com, and using the code BertinaPodcast10 for 10% off your online order. Until next time, may you move gently, trust your inner knowing, and remember that wisdom already lives within you. This is Spiritual Sanctuary Wisdom for the Divine Feminine. Good evening.